everyone, it's Lisa from the blog farmhouseonboone.com, and today I want to show you how to make a veggie hash that's perfect for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So hash is one of my favorite meals. Now I am not 100% sure on the exact definition of a hash, but from what I understand about it and from how we treat it in our family, it's basically any combination of a bunch of different vegetables and maybe meats, maybe not. In one pan, you can add different spices. A lot of times you'll add an egg or two on top, a fried egg, and then it usually contains some kind of potatoes. And what I love so much about it is that you could make something like this every night of the week because there's no limit to the different kinds of things you could put in it. So you could make a beef one with basil and oregano, and then maybe some summer squash if it's that time of the year. And then if it's winter, you could use some winter squashes and mushrooms and parsley. And then maybe in the spring, you could add quite a bit of greens. You could put in some chicken. It's all in one skillet, and you can switch it up as many times as you want. Usually when in doubt, I make some kind of skillet dinner just because of that. There's so many variations. So today for this veggie hash, I'm gonna start with some bacon. Now I have this already cut up and I'm gonna put it in my cast iron skillet over medium heat. Now while I get that going, I'm gonna get some of my veggies going. First, I'm going to peel some sweet potatoes because it is at the present time winter, or I guess it's really still technically fall, but the snow is falling as we speak, and so it definitely feels like winter. And sweet potatoes are a nice winter vegetable. Next, I'm just gonna chop these up, and I'm gonna make them pretty small because I'm gonna be putting them next to some veggies that cook a little bit more quickly. Now I will put the sweet potatoes in first while I'm getting the other things going. All right, now I'm gonna set this bacon aside, and then I'm gonna fry a couple of eggs in the bacon grease. Now you can always remove a little bit of bacon grease if you don't wanna use quite so much. Eggs fried in bacon grease remind me so much of going to my grandma's house when I was a kid. She's since passed away. She would be 100 years old a few months ago. My dad's mom, but she always cooked all of her eggs in bacon grease, and that taste just makes me go straight back to childhood. Now the goal is to not break the yolks. I did break a few of them, and set them aside for the end where we're gonna put them on top. It just tastes so great to have that yolk kind of pour down on the vegetables, so that's the goal, but if you break a few, it's totally fine. And you also don't wanna overcook them. Now I'm gonna cook the sweet potatoes in the bacon grease. Like I said, if there's too much, you can set some aside for future use or discard, however you prefer. Now sweet potatoes don't really get very crispy without any additional ingredients. I've seen recipes that call for adding some cornstarch, different things, but on their own in oil, they get mushy. I do have a tutorial on my blog and on here for how to make crispy potatoes in the cast iron skillet. Now that's with regular potatoes, but you can get a beautiful crisp, taste almost like French fries. Sweet potatoes not so much, but they are still delicious. Now I'm gonna get the sweet potatoes going first in this grease because they take the longest to cook. My favorite seasoning for sweet potatoes is cumin. I'm pretty sure it was my sister that got me started on this. I cannot be 100% sure, but I feel like it was her. And it just has a wonderful flavor, especially in this veggie hash. And once I cook the sweet potatoes for a few minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my red onions. And then I'll throw the mushrooms in last. I'm also gonna get some fresh garlic going. Now I like to use one of these garlic presses, makes it really easy. Just push it through, and the peel and everything that's not good about garlic stays right on top. The smell on this is incredible. Now I'm also gonna add some salt to taste. When it's all done, I can gauge if I need a little bit more. I'm gonna start with about a teaspoon. And once everything's starting to get sort of soft, to that point, I'm gonna add my mushrooms. Now I use baby portobello mushrooms. You can use any kind of mushrooms you have. In the late summer, early fall, our family loves to forage for chanterelle mushrooms, and they make a wonderful addition to this. Oh man, they're the absolute best. We always pray for rain in the summer so we can get plenty of chanterelles. Now you can throw a lid on this to speed up the process, or add a little bit of water in a lid. I'm gonna add my lid so that way it'll cook just a little bit more quickly. Okay, everything is all nice and soft. Smelling wonderful. Whew, so good. Now I'm going to add a mix of greens. Now it's not spring, and so it's not like these are actually in season, but hey, I'm thankful for grocery stores because we like to add a little bit of green. It's beautiful and healthy. Let that wilt just a touch. I'm gonna turn this heat off. Now comes the good part. First, I'm gonna add back on my eggs that are softly cooked in this bacon grease with the yolks nicely runny. I'm gonna crumble on some of the bacon that I cooked. Now you can set the rest aside if you want it later. I still have some leftover soup, some pumpkin soup from a few days ago, so I'm going to use it for that. Everybody likes soup a little bit better when there's sour cream and bacon. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of feta cheese. Now you could use any kind of cheese. I just love feta. It just makes it taste a little extra special, you know? You don't get feta cheese very often, at least I don't. I'm gonna add some fresh tomatoes and then some parsley. We still have parsley out in our garden. It is so resistant to frost that we can keep it most of the winter here until the snow gets really deep, if it ever does. I'm just gonna sprinkle that on top. I'm getting kind of carried away with the toppings because now I'm gonna add a little bit of avocado. Just love avocado with just about anything. Luke has all the kiddos at violin practice right now, and they're gonna be barreling through that door any minute, so I better get this finished up so that we can have lunch. Now you can get the full recipe with the printable recipe card version over on the blog. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below so that you can go there and check that out. Also, I have another recipe on the blog. It's one of my very first, so please ignore the pictures. They might not be the best, but it is for a beef hash with an homemade avocado crema on top. And it is so good. So pictures aside, it's a recipe to check out. I'll leave a link to that also in the description below. All right, well, thank you so much for watching this video. If you are brand new, please hit that subscribe button. I make 2 new videos every week on food from scratch, natural living, and a handmade home. Thanks so much for stopping by the farmhouse.